Thanks for that intro. Yeah, Tim and I are delighted to be here.
Yeah, and terrific. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us here at Retail Risk Leicester. As I just said in the intro there, we're going to be having a chat sort of about all tag, but really want to pick your brains a little bit more about the state of the nation as well. And if I can kick things off, obviously there's a huge amount of progress been made around capturing data in retail, loss and managed software. And these kind of allowing retailers to make lots of decisions, and almost too many decisions at sometimes, you might say, in terms of their LP strategy. But where does that leave the future of good old-fashioned profit protection then?
Yeah, I think with the kind of the new era of LP data mining, you could say, it is allowing retailers to kind of make better, or at least better understand their shrink, and more importantly, what we're focusing on is kind of that external shrink. So for decades, retailers have kind of employed similar tactics in terms of trying to protect their products. We all know about tag and pins and safer cases and spider tags and things like that. So yeah, there are some interesting questions that will come out the back of that data mining.
Yeah, and I guess, you know, part of that, and you hear this sort of accusation leveled maybe from time to time, but yeah, EAS, do you think sometimes a little bit of lack of innovation, you know, in the EAS sort of consumables industry? Has it maybe been a bit the same for a period of time? I mean, what's your, sorry to put you on the spot with a slightly pointed question there, but what's your take on that?
No, to be honest, I think you're right, and certainly a lot of the retailers that I speak to on a regular basis, they're saying the same thing. There is that lack of innovation. It's kind of a resounding yes, really. I think it's fair to say there have been some major strides forward in this area around some of maybe the traditional tried and tested methods. They do work, or certainly to an extent they work. They still work. But similar to the kind of the life cycle, product life cycle, it's quite a mature market. It's quite a mature product set that we're working with. So it does kind of beg the question: what's the next step?
Okay, so are you actually saying that these products have been around for so long that they're no longer effective? Maybe that's one for Tim to jump in and answer. So can we level that accusation? What do you think?
Well, I think the answer to that, Paul, is yes and no. You know, at the end of the day, retailers understand that applying certain, you know, loss prevention products works. However, there's a community of people out there who are determined to do whatever they can to defeat these items. So, you know, you can go onto YouTube and get tutorials on how to release tags, how to defeat labels, all that type of stuff. So, you know, yes, the basic function is there, it's working, it does a job, but I guess the question is there something different? Can it be done better?
Yeah, okay, so if retailers were saying with all of this data are able to make better decisions in their LP function, is it right that they're only able to lean on what's gone before, or is there something else perhaps?
No, I don't think so. I think you're right. They are kind of leaning on what's done before. So yes, they're able to make better decisions, and yes, they're able to plan their strategy in better ways. But if you're still implementing the same solutions as you were before, are you kind of undermining maybe what you're trying to achieve? Certainly, they're spending a huge amount of money on the cloud-based solutions, and look, that is absolutely the right thing to do, and it's an important piece of the puzzle. But maybe you do undermine by just introducing the same tactics. So I think, like I say, some solutions are tried and tested, but are they delivering the ROI that's needed now compared to when they first came out? So it's not necessarily about reinventing the wheel completely, but it certainly needs maybe a major upgrade.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's been a desire for that for some time, hasn't there? I think in terms of you know, what retailers are maybe looking for. So come on then, on the spot, who's going to give me the answer? What upgrades are actually needed, do you think?
Okay, well, let me jump in on this one. You know, there's loads of things to consider when you look at it. You know, where is the theft? What is the extent of external theft? We've just talked about all the data mining, so hopefully retailers are getting a hell of a lot better at understanding where their losses are and what's driving the losses. So have they got solutions in place at the moment that are working to an extent, but maybe is it right, isn't it right? They're not too sure about that. What's the impact on customer experience? But all of us that have been in the LP game for a long time know that we're referred to as the sales prevention department. So how do we overcome that and actually become an enabler rather than a preventer? And most importantly, at the end of the day, what can we do that, if anything, is going to be beneficial to sales rather than impact on sales? Because anybody can, get a metal cabinet, lock the products inside it, and you'll sell 3 a week as opposed to having 20 a week stolen. That's great, but actually what you want to do is have 5 a week stolen and sell 200 a week. So it's very, very difficult.
You make a really interesting comment there, which I want one of you to pick up on. Product protection solutions are often seen as sales prevention solutions, as you say, and you allude there to whether you put them in the cabinet or not. But overall, do you think that's a fair assessment of how LP solutions are seen?
Certainly, some of the discussions that I've had with commercial trading teams, it can be a little bit combative sometimes because their big nervousness is around their sales. And you can completely understand that because some of the solutions that are out there do prevent sales. And I think as we move through into kind of a new era of product protection, we need to bear that in mind. You have to understand that as an industry, you can't just keep locking things away. The customer experience, as Tim mentioned, is such a vital part of the retailer strategy. The customers kind of have to be able to touch and feel a product sometimes in order to make that sale. So by preventing them doing that using a loss prevention solution, it's not long term, it's not sustainable. So there needs to be a balance between that product protection and the customer experience. So what we do when we're looking at that future product and product innovation, you have to use that as a key part of your product protection design as we're moving forward. So, so the engagement between loss prevention and sales is absolutely crucial in how you implement those new solutions. So as a loss prevention solution provider, some of the best success that we've had actually has been initiating the contact with LP or certainly having that continued dialogue. Actually bringing the sales team or the commercial trading team or the in-store formats team or whoever it is, different departments who are going to be stakeholders within the business, actually bringing them to the table when you're in that design process means that the bureaucracy and the red tape that you have to try and get through isn't there because you're developing a solution that's actually benefiting all parties. So you're getting a loss prevention solution, you're enabling sales, and that's the key part. We're not sales prevention anymore, we should be sales enablers. Look, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing in the world to do, but it is definitely the way forward.
So am I hearing you right here that you're actually saying there's a chance for a loss prevention solution that actually enables sales rather than hinders it? That's quite an innovative, I mean, that's been the nirvana, but is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. And, through developing existing products, designing new products, we're able to do that. We're very, very close at the moment to launching a new product with a retailer. They're going to be the first to market with it. We looked at the issue they were having with the products. We've come up with a way not only of protecting them, but also it actually enhances the merchandising display on them. And the category buyer has actually turned around and said, you know what, even if this doesn't deliver an LP solution, we're going to buy it because it makes the product look so great. Another example recently is that we've been working with a vendor, a supplier to supermarkets. And as you know, all the supermarkets at the moment are really, really pushing the sustainability piece quite rightly. And one of the issues they have is they've got to move to cardboard packaging. A traditional security label applied onto cardboard packaging within the UK makes that product non-recyclable. So what we've done is we've taken a traditional piece of security, We've created some extremely high quality artwork and applied it to an RF security label, which then allows them to apply the RF security label to a part of the packaging which is non-recyclable. So it enables the supermarket to deliver what they need, and it allows us to deliver a solution that is absolutely right for that retailer and will enhance sales.
Interesting. I'm just going to pick you up on this. So are you really seeing the bespoke solution where retailers are going, well, okay, well, that's the core product, but I just need this tweak and that tweak? Is that really where, if you like, the growth is? Because once upon a time, you know, no disrespect, but, you know, vendors were obviously, you know, we've got this tag and that tag, which one do you want? And your choice might have been black or white as the color. But when, from what I'm hearing, is that you're now saying, you know, you're able to make a bespoke fit for what a retailer particularly needs. And is that where you kind of see the future of your business, if you like, going forward?
I think, again, to pick up on this one, Dave, I think that's right. I mean, if you look back at, you know, I know that you're a bit of a car guy, Paul. If you look back at the history of motor cars, at one point you could buy a Ford Model T and you could only buy it in black. When you look at the range and array of vehicles that are available today, then obviously that the market has progressed somewhat. And I think we're in the same boat. You know, it's about understanding that retailers need the solutions that work for them, rather than giving them a chocolate box and saying, which one do you want? You know, well, we like this, but it doesn't quite work for us. So what we need is this plus, plus, plus. And if you're a business like us that can deliver those solutions to a retailer, then I actually think that that is where the future is. Yeah,
fascinating. I think, you know, retailers have, I mean, some people know way back when I was on the retail side of things with Sainsbury's and Homebase and Aldi and some cooperative societies. And the solutions we had were virtually the same across all of those retailers because there was no choice. You just took what a handful of vendors could provide. So, you know, I think it's a good development and one that can only help. I mean, the fact that, you know, retailers are having the solution because it makes the product look better and then happens to deliver an LP solution. How great for the LP and risk team, because then actually I don't need to spend my budget to get that rolled out because, you know, the buyers are probably going to fund it anyway. So yeah, fascinating. Look, we are out of time on this, but I think you know, really great insight. Thank you very much to both of you for joining us here today. I'm sure there'll be some follow-up questions and other debates, but for now, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.